Hello. So I wanted to make this video and talk about scheduling because scheduling is a struggle for me. When I started this blog, I started it and I called it Getting My Act Together. And I named it that. I know it sounds kind of silly because I wanted to write about getting my act together, like the actual act of trying to become better at life. And it's not like I think I have to get my act together in order to earn something from somebody or to prove myself to God or like earn anything. You know, I don't think that. I just have gone through most of my adult life feeling a little not really unsuccessful, but sometimes unsuccessful. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 17 years, and that's not super duper common in my age group. I think for my parents' age group it was, and they were happy with that, and I'm happy with it. I really like it. However, because no one is setting a schedule for me, sometimes I have trouble with setting a schedule for myself. And then I've gone back and forth with why do I even need one over the years? And sometimes I don't need one. And sometimes I just depend on routines. That has not been working. And I've tried really strict schedules with the time blocking and making sure that I have to do all of these things at this time. But what happens is I get over zealous and I try to plan too many things and then I can't do them. And then I feel even more unsuccessful and then I don't stick to it at all. So I have 4 kids who are now like older and they're going to be wanting to go to college. One of them wants to doesn't want to go to private school. He just doesn't want to go to school. He wants to be homeschooled. We've got our issues. Anyway, the point is I need a schedule. I really realize I need a schedule. It needs to happen. I need to try it. Life is about experimentation, right? You experiment, you try to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And floating doesn't work very well for me. And I have an awful lot of things I want to get done to try floating. And I have to also allow room for, like, if I deal with something big, like this morning I had to talk to a teacher about something, and then my mind is derailed for an hour. Like I need an hour to process this talk, you know? And so I have to build a schedule that's going to have some wiggle room. So anyway, I'm going to do 2 things. One thing for building my schedule that I think you could copy if anyone remotely struggles with this thing like I do. I don't know. Hey, if you've got a magic formula, you let me know because I need it. But I'm going to write down all the things that have to get done and then all the things that have to get done every day, because what I need is a daily schedule that doesn't change too much, because I need to be able to go on autopilot a little bit. So I'm going to write down all the things that need to get done, and then I'm going to actually make the schedule and put in the things that have no wiggle room. Like I have to drop the kids off at this time. I have to pick the kids up at this time. Thankfully right now, there's only 2 nights of a week that I have to drive anyone anywhere. I gotta write all that down. So, okay, I'm going to do that first. Okay, so I wrote out my whole schedule and I put all the things I have to do every day. And it's funny because when I write it down on paper, it makes sense. Like this isn't too much. I can do this. I mean, the only thing I never did make it onto this is just extra cleaning. Like, you know, cleaning the bathroom, vacuuming the floors. That never made it, like I don't have a specific place for it. And I made out, okay, let me go back. I get ahead of myself. So I wrote down all my must-dos for every day. And, you know, I have 4 kids. I've got a lot of must-dos. And I'm the person who cooks dinner here. And I'm the person who gets the kids to and from school. We don't live far enough away from the school for a bus. So there's no bus. And you have to get ready in time if you're going to walk a mile to school. Not everybody does that here. Or if they do get ready in time, it's really cold. And anyway. There's thing. It's life, right? It's life. It's not nice and neat. So I have a lot of must-dos. And I honestly, to keep this house running, I have to do 2 loads of laundry a day, which takes up a significant chunk of time. And when your kids are at school all day, they can't do all this for you. Like in the summer, I do delegate a lot of those chores out. the laundry and dishes chores, the taking out the trash, the feeding the dog. But when they're at school, they're not here during the day. They can't do those things as I need them to. They still do chores. Our kids do chores, don't worry. Please don't send me emails. Anyway, but that was a side note. I didn't even mean to get off on that bunny trail. So then I made out, after I made my must-do list, then I took my average day and I wrote down every single hour of the day, starting with about the time I get up to about the time I go to bed. And does this work great for me? It works okay. When I try to get up earlier, I don't stick to it because I'm not a morning person and I have to be up late, I have 2 teenagers, okay? They don't go to bed at 8 o'clock. Teenagers don't go to bed at 8 o'clock. And also there's only 2 bathrooms and everyone has to take turns using them. We have our reasons. This is the closest thing to working we got, okay? So I'm sure you all understand. So in the morning, I have coffee and feeding the boys, which I don't spend a lot of time on that. I do very easy breakfasts, okay, very convenience meal type deals. And then I drive the boys to school. The older 2 actually walk, and it is a hike. They walk a mile to school every day. Anyway, by 8:30, I'm home, but somehow that hour and a half kind of disappears every day. And I'm like, where did it go? I don't know where it went. So I tried to pack as most reasonable things into that as I could, not a ton, because apparently I move very slow from 8 to 10. I don't really come alive until about 10:30. Why? I don't know. It's how God made me. I come alive at 10:30. I'm awake at 7, but that's just zombie April. You don't want to mess with her. So I drove the boys to school, and then I come home, and then I have breakfast and Bible and prayer. So I figure at that time, no one is here. I can focus on what I'm reading. Now I do, if I'm alive enough while the boys are still here, I do like to read them a chapter of something encouraging before school. And when I say something encouraging, nothing complicated, just like something from the New Testament or Proverbs or Psalms, something good that will encourage them for their day. I like to do that. It doesn't happen every day because I have trouble getting started in the morning. I'm a slow starter. So then I have morning chores in my daily 15. I'm loving this daily 15. I got this idea from Alan's Aunt Ellen, and I thought she was an excellent person to listen to because she has always stayed trim and fit somehow. And I don't know how she does this, but I do know that she is more self-disciplined than I am. So something to work on. But anyway, I am enjoying the daily 15. I'm sure I eat a significantly larger amount of food than she does, so I may not see the same results, but we'll work on it. New work in progress. So anyway, after my morning chores, my daily 15, shower and write. I'm not even showering until 11. How not grown up does that sound? Like, what am I, 20? But I've done a lot of things before that time, y'all. Don't give up on me. I have gotten the kids to school, I've done an exercise, I've read my Bible, I've prayed, I've eaten my breakfast, and hopefully I've done some morning chores. So yeah, after that, I'm supposed to finally start writing. So all total to write on my blog, to work on this blog, I really need to get off the ground or I'm going to have to go out and get a real job. It's going to be, it looks like I've scheduled myself about 1.5 hours during the school day, and then 30 minutes after the kids get home to work on Pinterest, because Pinterest is central to having traffic to my blog. That's not enough. So I'm gonna have to keep looking for more ways to find time to work on it. Then I'm gonna shower and write, start dinner, write. I have to start dinner at 12 in the day. If I don't have a plan for dinner, it just makes me not be at peace. Like, I like to know in the morning what I'm making that night. It just makes my brain happy. So, like today, I was gonna go to the grocery store and then I found out it was raining all day. So I'm making a dish that wasn't even on my meal plan for these 2 weeks because I'm not going to the grocery store in the rain. I have a kitchen that's a really long way from my driveway, and it's just not cool. It's not cool. I have to walk up a lot of stairs. It's not ideal. So I don't do it on rainy days. So we're going to use what we have. Okay. Anyway, so I got all of the things I have to do. I won't go through my whole schedule, but I have narrowed it down to hours. So I guess this is kind of time blocking, isn't it? Because I gave everything a time, and I've always been opposed to that. But we're going to experiment with this because the fact is that I think I need it. So we're going to call this my new schedule. And this is the rough draft. And we really like to laminate it. Any of you guys have a laminator I could borrow? I'm going to put this in a very official place and call this my schedule. And I'm super excited about it. That's all. Oh, the reason why I walked through all of this is in case any of you want to try out what I did. All I did was write down all the things that have to be done to brainstorm, like remember what all I need to put in my average day. And then I went and made my average day. I wrote all the things. And then when I realized that I was missing things, I went back and scratched things out and moved them around to make them work. It's still not perfect. Some things just aren't gonna happen every day. But the ones that must happen must be on the schedule. Anyway, so yeah, those are that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys are doing well. You'll have to comment below and let me know what you do for your schedule. Thanks.